Listen to this, because this is very fucking wild.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon, and one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you gotta come in and talk to me a sec. We've made the decision, we're going to war with Iraq." I said, "We're going to war with Iraq? Why?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "I guess they don't know what else to do." He said, "I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments." So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran."
It's like insane. How do they not talk about that ever? I can tell you this, the tallest thing humans built after the pyramids.
I think it's a building in Dubai.
No. So in other words, what's the next tallest thing after the pyramids?
Oh, right after.
Yeah. What is the next tallest thing we built? Stable structure after the pyramids.
What?
The Eiffel Tower.
Really?
Yes. 89, 1870, late 1800s in Paris, the Eiffel Tower.
Huh.
That was the first stable structure we built as a civilization that was taller than the pyramids. So the Egyptians knew they knew architecture. They knew. No one's taken that away from them. But to claim they have some secret knowledge of the functionings of the universe, no. No.
Well, people love saying that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it makes for a great TV.
But the fact that they didn't have steel, and the fact that you're dealing with the very, very most recent 2500 BC, and they built...
You just have to be more ingenious, more innovative than we otherwise would have to be. Yeah. And how do you move the blocks? Those rocks are nowhere in the region. Mm-hmm. They were carted from they found a place where those rocks were would have been mined, removed, and and those are some big ass rocks.
My daughter's friends were over the house, and I told them I'd give them $1,000 if they could do a minute in it.
Yeah.
I gave 3 kids $1,000.
Really?
12-year-olds. Yeah. And the parents were like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "They earned it. They earned it. I just want them to show. I just want to show them that they could do it."
And were they fucking losing their minds, or they were pretty confused?
And they got out, woo, and they're fucking flexing, slay. It's hilarious.
Dude, I bet a guy at the Schwitz who's a fan of yours.
That's great. It was fun.
I took $300 in a plastic bag and put a rock in it at a party, and I threw it in the pool. And I go, "Who was it?" And one of George's friends, fully clothed, dives in the pool.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? It's fucking awesome.
But these kids were so pumped, and their parents like, "Are you serious?" Like, "Yeah, look, it's like for them to. It's a hard thing to do."
Sure.
And I'm showing them if you can do this very difficult thing. A minute in a cold plunge when you're fucking.
It's very hard. 30 seconds is like enough.
90 pounds and you're 12. They don't give a fuck if you're injured. They have no remorse. And they're intelligent. So they have a real sense of fairness. One of the reasons why chimps attack people give something to someone else and they don't give it to them. There's a famous story of this guy who had a pet chimp. This guy gets rid of this chimp, brings it to a shelter. The shelter takes it in. And he goes to visit it every year. And the chimp goes to see him like, "Oh, my friend, I miss you. Why can't I come home?" But he can't come home ever. So this guy goes to visit the chimp and he brings a birthday cake. "Happy birthday, buddy." And the other chimps that are in cages right next to him are like, "This motherfucker didn't bring me a cake? I can't believe this shit." So they figure out a way to get out, and they got out, and they attacked the man, and they tore him apart. They tore his face off, they tore his dick off, they tore his feet off, they bit his fingers off. It's one of the most horrific, cruel attacks you'll ever hear of. The scariest one that I read about was a DARPA one called the Eater robot. It uses biological material as fuel, which means if
You're kidding. You're kidding.
No, I'm not
Jesus
kidding. EATR. This is going to be able to eat dead bodies in the field and use it as fuel to continue to kill people.
Oh, good. That sounds like a fine thing to develop.
Just fucking imagine an army of robotic, armed, artificially intelligent things,
corpse eaters,
that eat corpses in order to have fuel to continue to kill more people.
Well, someone's obviously imagining that.
It's made. I mean, this is a real